The Supreme Court had issued an order last Thursday questioning all decisions made by the government so far in regard to the postponed international airport in Nisgad of Bara district. However, the Parliamentary Committee of the House of Representatives yesterday directed the government to proceed with the construction of the Nisgad International Airport. The directive clearly violates the Supreme Court order that had closed the project entirely, citing environmental risks. It is to be seen how the government moves ahead with the Nisgad International Airport mega project, challenging the Supreme Court verdict. Good morning, I am Bipashna Tamang, and these are the headlines of the hour. The budget fails to address the youth who represent more of the population. Solid plan to stop youth from going abroad for employment and to increase entrepreneurship not introduced. The Parliamentary Committee directs the government to proceed with the construction of the Nisgad International Airport in Bara, neglecting the Supreme Court verdict. President Vladimir Putin says Russia is ready to facilitate the unhindered export of grain from Ukrainian ports in coordination with Turkey. And Stefano Tsitsipas and Daniil Medvedev crashed out of the French Open. Iga Swiatek storms into the quarterfinals. More than 12 million youths represent Nepal's population. However, the government failed to address the youths in its budget presented on Sunday. Finance Minister Janardhan Sharma unveiled a budget of 1,793,830 rupees for the next fiscal year during Sunday's joint meeting of the Federal Parliament. The government sanctioned 2.46 billion rupees for the youth and sports sector for the new fiscal year, which is 0.14% of the total budget. Out of that, 70% has been set aside for sports. However, the government claims that the budget, which incorporates the Prime Minister Employment Program, gives priority to modernization of agriculture, among others, has targeted the youth population. The Finance Ministry also says that the budget has set aside more than 50 billion rupees for the youth population. From youth-targeted programs, the program has neither increased entrepreneurships nor has it created opportunities for employment. The government has announced to run entrepreneurship and self-reliance-centered programs targeting youths who have joined as temporary police. Likewise, the government aims to make 12,000 youths self-employed through the Self-Employment Fund. However, youth activists say that this is not enough to involve the youths in development activities. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked people in several provinces whether they think the government's budget addressed the issues of the youths. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
समय सापेक्षिक छैन
युवा मैत्री चाहिँ छ जस्तो चाहिँ लाग्यो
यो मात्रै हल्ला छ मात्र
The Parliamentary Committee has directed the government to proceed with the construction of the international airport in Nisgad, Bara. Yesterday's meeting of the International Relations Committee of the House of Representatives has directed for removing legal and other hurdles and proceeding with the construction of the international airport. The committee has said that the international airport in Nisgad was in the national interest and would make great contributions for economic development. The committee has also criticized the verdict of the Supreme Court against the construction of the international airport. Ignoring the verdict of the apex court, the government has included the airport in the budget. The aircraft of Tara Air, which was missing since Sunday morning, was found to have crashed and shattered into pieces in Mustang's Thasang, Sanu Sare Dada. All the 22 people on board the ill-fated plane, including 3 crew members and 6 foreign nationals, were killed in the crash. Until this morning, security personnel have retrieved 21 dead bodies, out of which 10 have been brought to Kathmandu. Search is on for the one missing body. The body is brought to the capital on Nepal Army's aircraft has been kept at the TU Teaching Hospital in Maharajganj. The remaining 11 dead bodies have been kept at the Army's airbase. Recovering the bodies had been difficult due to adverse weather conditions. The Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal has yet to ascertain the cause of the accident. Organizing a press meet yesterday, the authority said although it seems the weather may have caused the accident, the actual cause of the crash will be determined only after investigation. The Ministry of Tourism and Civil Aviation has formed a 5-member committee under the leadership of Senior Aeronautical Engineer Ratish Chandra Lal Suman to investigate the crash. 16 Nepali nationals, including 7 from the same family, 4 Indian nationals and 2 Germans have been confirmed dead in the plane crash.
Sports news.
Finance Minister Janardhan Sharma unveiled a budget of 1,793,830 million rupees for the next fiscal year at the Federal Parliament, which is 24% more than the amended budget of the current fiscal year. Although budget had been increased in most sectors, the government has sanctioned 2.46 billion rupees for the sports sector for the new fiscal year. The volume is 220 billion less than the budget sanctioned last year. The government has allocated a budget of 870 million rupees for sports infrastructure development, which doesn't seem sufficient as the government has plans to complete the cricket stadium in Mulpani, improve standard of TU ground stadium in Kantipur, open high-altitude center in Jumla, academy in Kohalpur, among others. More than 4 billion rupees was allocated for the sports sector in the budget for the fiscal year 2018-19, in which priority was given to the 8th National Games, participation in Asian Games and infrastructure development for the 13th South Asian Games. The budget for sports was almost 4 billion rupees for the fiscal year 2019-20, keeping in mind the South Asian Games. However, the budget for sports started to decrease after that. The sports sector is disappointed with the budget allocated for sports for the next fiscal year, which preparations are being made for the Asian Games, South Asian Games, as well as the 9th and 10th National Games. And time now for a segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public poll.
Here's the question: why has the government been decreasing the budget for the sports sector? Your options are option A, unaware of its priority, option B, insufficient budget, and option C, unproductive sector. The voting is on. Type in EWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.